Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, and making a bit of a different kind of video, but I think it's one that you guys will enjoy. I think I'm gonna have a good time making it. But it's addressing a comment I get all too often, or just a question I get in general, whether it's a comment on YouTube or just a question out and about. In my daily life, being a gun guy, all too often I get asked, what is your favorite gun? You gotta be honest, that's a rude question. You just don't ask that to a gun guy because you just can't pick a single favorite gun. I'm gonna try to prove that because what I had done here is I try to categorize guns, my favorite gun in a particular segment. Favorite AR, favorite semi-auto, favorite bolt, favorite pistol. I have a lot of segments. I try to clean it up as much as possible. Moral of the story, I narrowed to 13 different segments. From 13 to 1, so we're gonna go through my top categories, and of each category, I picked my favorite gun. So with all that being said, I'm really looking forward to diving into these guns, and while I talk about them, I'm gonna be showing some footage that I've uploaded on this channel over the years, and should be a good time. Now, before we get into this video in particular, I wanna give a massive thanks to our sponsor, which is Kalashnikov USA. Now, although at the current moment, I unfortunately do not own any Kalashnikov USA rifles, that will change very soon. I have had the pleasure of shooting a couple at the Big Daddy Unlimited Epic Shoot in Savannah, Georgia, but they're known for making American-made Kalashnikov platforms such as their KR-103, KP9, their Comrade, and many, many others. They're built on the true Russian designs, and they're actually built in Florida, and every firearm exceeds their quality control expectations. So like I said, don't own any yet, but I promise that will change very, very soon. I did talk to the guys at Kalashnikov USA while I was in the Savannah shoot, the Big Daddy Unlimited shoot. Very cool guys, very awesome company, and I do like their stuff. I will own some Kalashnikov stuff very soon that you guys will see. But in the meantime, they were cool enough to sponsor this video, and I'm very appreciative of that. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and go to the 13th on this list. Let's just dive into it. 13th on the list is what I'm calling the Showstopper. Doesn't matter who you are, how much or how little of a gun person you are. At any point I pull this out, people want to hold it, take pictures with it, and ask about it. First thing they always ask is, does it shoot? Is it real? And of course it is. This is the Auto Ordnance Tommy gun in the Chicago typewriter configuration, finished in their gold titanium nitride. All right, number 12 on the list, and that would be my favorite revolver. I have to say, this one did not win single-handedly, but it did win. This one here is the Smith & Wesson Performance Center TRR8. To know about this real quick, it is a 357, and the big thing to know right there, 8 shots of 357 in this. It is sinister looking, very comfortable with that ergonomic grip, fully adjustable sights, little brass piece up front. You can put a rail on the top, which I opted not to do because I love the iron sights. I did put the rail on the bottom. So very, very cool gun. Feels great. Trigger feels fantastic. It's accurate. It's an 8-shot 357. So the TRR8 for functionality, practicality is my favorite revolver. Number 11 on the list is one of those weird subcategories, but it's a cool category in my opinion. And that is my favorite non-AR 5.56. So any semi-auto rifle chambered in, or any rifle for that matter, chambered in 5.56, that's not an AR-15. And might not be a surprise to some of my subscribers, but that would be the Bushmaster ACR. This was, I think, probably like the 3rd or 4th gun I bought at all. And I bought it a few years ago, and it's still with me, and I love this thing to death. I bought it at the time, I spent all my money on it, and I thought I would sell it real quickly, just make a couple of videos and move on, but no, it stayed with me throughout the growth of the channel.
There we go. Yeah.
Now, you guys would be new around here if you didn't know that I'm a really big fan of the 1911. Now, believe me, I have other subcategories of my favorite functional handgun. It's probably more of a modern double stack thing. I have my favorite novelty gun. We'll get to those. But 1911, I love so much, it had to be a category of its own because I'm a FUD at heart. I love the 1911. My favorite 1911 might surprise you guys, might not. But that is my Springfield Armory loaded operator, specifically the MC operator, MC for Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is that green color. They have 2 different kinds, but this one is the one with, well, the grips you see on there. Hopefully it's focusing. Kind of a dual tone with the olive drab frame and the black slide.
I like it.
right, so number 9, there's actually a dead tie. And no, I did not force this tie to happen. It's hilarious that it did because it's the two most polar opposite guns in my entire collection. But this subcategory had to happen. And that is, number 9 is the party piece. Something that just gets reaction, something that, not like the Tommy gun, but something else. Let me show you guys what I mean. So, dead tie, first one I'm gonna pull up here, of course it has to be the Barrett M82. This is the party piece in that I don't ever shoot this thing alone unless I'm just doing some mundane sight-in real quickly. It's only gonna take a couple rounds, nothing too big into it. It's one of my most expensive guns, and it comes out maybe 3 times a year. And I make sure whenever it does come out, it's a party. You bring a lot of people, they all recognize it, whether they're avid shooters or they're not. Everybody just likes shooting the classic M82A1 from Barrett. They do make the M107, fantastic gun, but for me, the classic M82, I'm gonna pull it up again with that arrowhead muzzle brake, 29-inch barrel finished in black with the Leupold ERT, I believe it is, 4-14 by 50. Classic silhouette from movies, video games, whatever else. It's an absolute party piece. The concussion the 50 BMG puts out, it's just a good time. So the party piece, absolutely love to show people this, love to get people behind the gun and all that good stuff. Tied though, dead tie for the party piece is my North American Arms 22 short revolver. Why would that be a dead tie with the M82? Because the kind of reaction the M82 get, this gets them too, except this one gets more laughs, I will say. Let me just go ahead and come up a little closer here. This thing is absolutely adorable. Like I said, chambered in 22 short, has no kick whatsoever. I just made a video recently, or actually I'm talking out of order. I think it's gonna be the next video, so stay tuned.
Firing.
All right, number 8 on the list, that is gonna be my favorite PCC type gun. I have to be careful with words here, but PCC means pistol caliber carbine type gun, because this is still a pistol at the end of the day, legally. So this ultimately is pretty much an AK chambered in 9mm, takes CZ Scorpion mags. Who makes it? This here is a PSA, or Palmetto State Armory, AKV. All right, now this next gun in this next category will certainly kind of show you guys just what kind of a gun guy I am. But this category is quote unquote functional handgun. So like I said, 1911 is a thing of its own. My favorite functional handgun, hear me out, is my newly acquired FNX 45. When it's suppressed. When it's not, it's great, but specifically when it's suppressed in this configuration, it is my favorite functional handgun. In short, why I like it so much is because when you are shooting it, it is no louder than walking around your house with flip-flops. Hey guys, that's where on the FNX 45. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to give a big thanks to ETS, or Elite Tactical Systems, for being a longtime supporter of this channel. ETS makes really cool translucent magazines for AR-15s, P320s, Glocks, and many other kinds of guns. They've also got speed loaders, 445 ACP, 9mm, 380 ACP, and 5.56. I'll be sure to put a link in the description to check out ETS, but just want to give a big thanks to them for supporting this channel. All right, so the category for number 6, that would be my favorite novelty handgun. That shouldn't be too much of a surprise. That is my gold, quote unquote, gold Desert Eagle. Very cool gun. Can't talk enough about it. I have another gun identical to this, just a different color, so not identical, but another 50 AE Desert Eagle with a black tiger. I love that too. But this one in particular, just that gold titanium nitride. It's classic, goes back to COD 4, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Yeah, I'm that generation. Number 5 on the list, kind of took me off guard when I first got it, but if you guys have seen my videos with it, you guys would know how much I love it. That is the Spaz 12. So this is the category, obviously, of my favorite shotgun. And to even have a shotgun within the top 5, it actually sounds crazy. I don't dislike shotguns, but I didn't think I would like it to this level. But that's not shotguns in general, that's just the Spaz 12, just being honest.
Holy.
All right, boys and girls, number 4. It's getting pretty good. The category is my favorite non-5.56 semi-auto rifle. I know that sounds pretty narrowed out, but that could be many, many things. Just think about it. So non-AR or AR, doesn't matter, but it's not 5.56. My favorite gun in that category, and I'll explain why, is the good old M1 Garand. Might not be what you were expecting, because this could have been an M1A, could have been a SCAR, could have been so many different things. I was always shooting within 50 yards, just shooting quickly for videos. I was shooting with Pew View, the guys on Instagram. He was visiting, and I said, you know what, just for fun, we went to the hill where I had a steel target laid out just over 450 some yards, or about 455 yards. And I'm like, I haven't shot this thing beyond 50 yards, so let's just see what happens. I made my sling nice and tight. I was standing up, made it as tight as I could with whatever bad fundamentals I have. And standing up on my first shot, aimed at a tombstone that's smaller than my chest. And I missed maybe half a foot low. And I was just impressed to do that. And now at that point I determined I'm not leaving until I hit this thing. So that was my only attempt standing up. The second time I took a knee so I could get some better stability. And on my first attempt on a knee, second attempt overall, this happened.
Got it too.
And so whether I choose the gun or the gun chooses me, I don't know. But in that very moment, hitting that with iron sights on this old M1 Garand, it was at that moment this became my favorite gun in some kind of category, and I finally narrowed it down. It is my favorite non-5.56 semi-auto rifle. It just so happens to be from World War II.
All right, who's next?
Number 3 is my favorite AR-15. Pretty broad, but AR-15, maybe not so broad. That would be any kind of a Mark 12, in particular the Mod O or the Mod H. Pretty much dead even from there, but I happen to grab the Mod O because you guys haven't seen it in a while. That is because this thing has next to no recoil, whether it's suppressed or not. Next to no recoil, absolutely shoots lights out, unbelievably accurate, shooting some 77 grain open tip match ammo. Just recreationally shooting, you could go ahead and get a friend on this thing and get them to shoot long range with no intimidation. There's no recoil to this thing. It's not that loud. It's very accurate though, and at the end of the day, it's an AR-15. So long range shooting is among my favorite form of shooting, as you can see from my choice of being my favorite AR-15. That being said, you could probably guess what kind of category the next 2 guns would be. So I had to do my favorite long action and my favorite short action. Number 2 is my favorite long action. Not that I prefer small calibers to larger calibers, but I just end up shooting the smaller calibers more frequently just for practical accuracy ranges and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, it's almost a dead even tie between 1 and 2. This here is number 2 for now. This is my favorite long action bolt action rifle. And that being said, it's among my favorite of my entire collection. Again, it's one of those things where if the gun just shoots exactly where you're aiming and it just does it, no surprise, it's hard not to make it a favorite gun in some kind of category. And that was this gun. On a very, very windy December day, we were setting up to shoot in Triple C in Crescent, Texas, which is unfortunately now closed down. And we had 2,000 yards to play with. Again, a very, very windy day. And just there, shooting, looking through this optic and everything, I thought I was getting hits, but it was still kind of ambiguous. Every now and then I'll see the flashing hit indicator lights. But not until I went home and reviewed the footage did I realize this thing was just absolutely on it. So where it became my favorite long action and one of my favorites overall is when I challenged myself to see that I was shooting pretty darn good. And I said, what'd be really fun is load 2 in the mag, shoot 1, and chamber the next one before that first one even hits its target. And well, that's on camera, so check this out.
I'm gonna try to chamber it while it's still in flight.
Yeah, that's the move.
Good?
Yep.
I think I got it twice.
I think you might have.
I think I saw the light. I really like that, right?
Oh yeah, I've only brought it out. So that was pretty cool to see and then watch back, and it was in that moment that this became my favorite gun of some kind of category. I should probably tell you guys what this is. I'm just assuming you've already seen the video, so my apologies for that. But this is a totally custom rifle. As far as the barreled action and trigger and all that good stuff, it was put together by APR, or Alamo Precision Rifles. I went and saw this Accuracy International AX chassis used on eBay or Gunbroker, one of those, and I bought it there and it got shipped to me. Vortex helped out with the optic. Of course, I would want it no other way. This is a Razor HD Gen 2, 4.5 to 27 by 56 with the H59 reticle. Later, I finally got approved for that AAC Titan QD suppressor. We got an Atlas bipod. I'm probably forgetting some things here and there, but that's the gist of it. If you guys want more information, check out the independent videos I did with it. And finally made it to our number one category, and that is, like I said, my favorite bolt action, short action gun. What will it be? What will it be? This here is my custom rifle, my first ever custom build I've ever done quite a few years ago. And this is, again, an APR rifle. This is an Alamo Precision rifle. They called it at the time the APR Ranger. I think they still have the Ranger lineup, but it changed form quite a bit. Chambered to 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got a 24-inch barrel. It's got an AAC brake on there, so I could use my AAC suppressor. This is one of my favorite guns right when I got it. It just shot great right out of the box. As soon as I got approved for my very first suppressor, which is this one, I started shooting it suppressed. A short action suppressed bolt gun, or any bolt gun for that matter, but mostly like a short action, is a thing of its own. You don't need hearing protection. There's no action sound that's super loud. The pop at the muzzle, most of that sound is forward, so to the shooter it's very quiet. It's just very comfortable. It's very relaxing shooting a gun like this. Of course, if you're next to a bunch of other people that are unsuppressed, no difference. But if you're on private land or whatever, it's the most therapeutic form of shooting. What's up, Tucker? Yep. Cool. There it is. Really delayed. All right. Pressure's on you. Yeah, okay. I didn't see it, but I heard it. Good stuff. Oh yeah. I guess that's kind of the abnormal, weird list and kind of how I had to answer. So you could see how long this video is, and that's why I typically don't answer what my favorite gun is. But anyway, at the very least, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love talking about these guns. I could do it all day long until I lose my voice, which I'm almost there, so I guess I should stop. But yeah, that's that. Let me know what gun is your favorite, whether it's on this list or not. What gun of your own is your favorite, and what gun that you've seen from me is your favorite. Maybe I'll bring it out a little bit more often, including this one. But that does it for this one. Once again, I want to say a big thanks to Kalashnikov USA for sponsoring this video, keeping this stuff possible so I can keep affording these silly things. And here soon, I'll get some Kalashnikov USA rifles and pistols to shoot. But looking forward to that. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.